Anyhow, it's 6:32. Welcome to the Sepulveda Basin Wildlife Area Steering Committee meeting. We specially decorated the tables for you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. We do have a quorum here. I think what we will do is go around the table, introduce ourselves, then go to our audience in person. And then I will note the people that are attending online. We do have a number of people on the Zoom meeting. After the last meeting, I got a lot of complaints that people could not hear that were on Zoom. So Audubon approved purchasing a extension microphone. It's going to be covering kind of in that area. So yeah, there you go. And we will hope that it improves, but I really will suggest, please try to speak up and so people can hear. And that's it. I'm Pat Bates with San Fernando Valley Audubon Society.
I'm Jason Fauna with Friends of the Alley River.
Glenn Bailey, Sino Neighborhood Council.
Shelley Backwell, Resource Conservation District of the Santa Monica Mountains.
Michael Minevar, my name. Joe Phillips, I almost said my employer. Joe Phillips for the Spirit Los Angeles chapter.
Marie Katz, LA Audubon. Kathy Schreiner, Neighborhood Council Sustainability Alliance.
And in the audience,
Hi, I'm Veronica Davey with Crystals.
hi Veronica.
Charles Manor from Borderline, Los Angeles. My wife, Karen.
Okay. We have Muriel Coton online, Bill Neal, President of California Native Plant Society, Rosie Avatisian from CD6, Ari Cuellar from San Fernando Valley Audubon, Yvonne Velasquez, and Yvonne, I'll let you if you want to unmute and introduce yourself.
Hi, yes, good evening. My name's Yvonne Velasquez. I am the Senior Director at Balboa Sports Center.
Well, hello there. Are you right down the hall?
I'm actually not. I'm at home. I'm actually off, but I always miss these meetings, so I want to be able to come and join and learn more and meet everyone.
Okay, thank you. Welcome. We have Mike Demain, who is with LA 28 virtually. Hi.
Hey, welcome, or thanks for having me, everybody. Look forward to talking to you.
You're very welcome. We have Joshua Martinez from Rec and Parks. Welcome, Joshua. Barb from San Fernando Valley Audubon. Paul Kohler. Paul, I'll let you introduce yourself if you want.
Sorry, was that for me, Pat?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it was a Paul, not a Paula, but hi, Paul.
Oh, hi. Sorry, my
sorry.
name's Paul. I'm a member of joined meetings for the Lake Balboa Neighborhood Council. I'm not a council member, but I've heard of this committee before. So just wanted to attend remotely as a member of the public. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Michael Menjivar. And in person, Hannah Whalen from the Army Corps of Engineers. Now we have Paula.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, my name is Paola Flores Nunez. I am with Recreate, Educate, Co-Adapt, Rec, and we do work at the Basin.
And I see Terry. And Terry can introduce if she wants. Or not. Okay. Moving right along then. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the June 23rd meeting. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, do we have discussion?
Just one, it's very, very minor, but it said that we were at a wildflower festival. It was a wildfire festival at the Audrey's.
I will make that correction. So,
Also, I have also minor, and it's probably just for going forward. And that is,
wait. I've got to mute somebody. All right, go ahead.
just, it was initially confusing, just going forward. I don't know if you change things, but if you make the other change, good. So in the third line, it says notice and agenda. And then, there's two different days, so, I think if you deleted the notice and agenda part, it's into the minutes.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been there.
Okay.
The
And then-
minutes shouldn't say notice and
And then
agenda.
the second line where it gives the prepared by and the date, that's typically at the bottom, you know, rather than, because then the date is
Okay.
two different dates, so that's minor stuff. Thank
So the heading and, okay, pending that, I don't need to do a roll call vote on just the minutes, do I?
No.
No, okay, all in favor? Board members?
Can we spell my name right?
What?
We spelled my name right on it, Pat. It's got me as Miriam.
Oh,
That's all. It's just the AI I'm trouble. Okay, thank you.
So Pat, do you want me to close the door then?
yeah,
I'll
please.
get, I'm up, so I'll go to.
Do we have public comment on, so we have, disposed of item number 2. Number 3, public comment on non-agenda items within the subject matter jurisdiction of the committee. Do we have any comments here? Veronica, I'll put you on after the government officials.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, seeing none in person, do we have any people online that would like to speak? None. I do see Terry Brady. Okay, it's saying my internet connection is unstable. I imagine there's like 6 people logged on to that now, so anyhow, now it is stable again. Also online, I see Meredith McCarthy and Terry Brady. So in person, we have Marianne Davis representing her. No, just it's one person. Marianne Davis representing Sierra Club San Fernando Valley. Okay, seeing no hands raised, are we ready for the presentation on LA 28th?
We sure are.
Righty. Do you need to share your screen?
I do. I just sent you the request.
Righty, we can fix that. Yay. Didn't go to college for nothing.
So figuring out when I went to college.
Hold on.
Hello. Did they have a Zoom class when you were in college?
No.
Not when I was going to college. We were lucky if we had a 4-function calculator.
So. Hi, everyone. I'm gonna, my name is Michael Menor. I'm the Director of Community Relations at LA 28. This is my second time attending this group's meeting. A lot of familiar faces. Chappie at the Van Nuys neighborhood council meeting. That was an interesting one earlier this year. Glenn, I remember from my neighborhood council days as well. I was also part of, at one point, a budget advocate, part of the Congress, and born and raised here in the San Fernando Valley and Sun Valley as part of, I was on the North Valley Northeast neighborhood council from 2015 to 2019. And I went to Mahal Middle School and Birmingham High School just down the street. So I still live here in the Valley and glad to be back with everyone tonight. I'm going to quickly go through some just very high level information, some slides, just about the games, just so we have kind of a foundational grounding about like the scope of the games and hopefully share some enthusiasm with everyone. The reason why we're all here today, however, is for Mike DeMay, who is on virtually, to share some info about the basin specifically. Meredith, who's part of our sustainability team, can also share some info about our climate resilience fund. So when I get to it, I'll be very fast. Let me move this. There's things in the way. This won't go. There we go. So I'm going to share some very high level things. It's me.
Nice photo.
Thank you. Yeah, about 60 pounds. Pre-wedding, 60 pounds. Third time Los Angeles host the games. First time hosting the Paralympic Games. So we're very excited about that. And there's only 2 other cities in the world that have hosted the games 3 times. That's London and London and Paris. Last time that Los Angeles hosted the games in 1984, the Valley did not have anything. And so, as someone born and raised in the Valley, that brings me great enthusiasm and joy that the world comes to visit. They'll be able to see just how wonderful and calm the Sepulveda Basin is. Just some high level numbers about the games. These are big. Every games are generally the biggest thing that happen in the world. They happen every 4 years, and this will be the biggest games that has ever happened to date. And so a lot of planning that needs to happen in order to ensure that the games go smoothly. And this is just a little bit about how it's become the biggest Olympics ever. So we have 5 more sports from Paris, and over 11,000 athletes that are competing. Some of the Paralympic numbers, we've got over 4,000 athletes competing in 23 different sports. And so about a good solid month or so of activity with a lot happening in the Valley. This map, I like this map because it really shows the footprints of the games. And so everyone knows what we are in the Valley Zone. But we are now have games happening in something like 20 different cities across the country, multiple states, multiple counties, a lot of jurisdictions, and so a lot of people that we have the pleasure of collaborating with, and really cool to get more to share the excitement about the Olympic Games all across the country. Paralympic Games map, less color, less dots on here. It's just one side. A lot of reduced in scale, less activity, but still very, very significant activity that's going to come in 2028. No Paralympic Games in the Valley, as we'll see. None. Well, a lot happening everywhere else, but yeah, none in the Basin at least. And then now I'll hand it off to Mike DeMay. Couple of things about him. He has a great name, first of all, and he is your person for Sepulveda Basin. And so I'll click over to the slide that he prepared and let him get into it.
Okay. Does he need to share or?
He can use this one, yeah.
He can use this one.
Yeah, he's gonna drive for me there, and I assume you mean my first name, Mike, by the great name, not necessarily the last one. But appreciate the intro. Thank you everybody for letting us talk to you today. We're super excited about what we're preparing for and gonna build in the Valley for the Olympic Games. We're super pumped about the entire footprint that we have to work with. We've met a lot of great people up there. We've been involved in a lot of community events and spent a lot of time getting to be familiar with the Valley, the Basin, and everything that everything that it has to offer. I think there's a number of you in the room that I've met with at various times and talked to at various times, and our plans have kind of morphed over the last, at least the last year or so that I've been involved. And there were times that we had venues in other locations kind of around the basin, but this map kind of represents, or does represent, where we are landing with where the venues are going to be. And as you can see, just for an orientation standpoint, you're looking at this. So the top of the map is the north, The right-hand side is the east side, the Balboa or sorry, not the Balboa, the Woodley Road areas to the east, and then to the west is Lake Balboa. And so I think as we have put together our venues, the venues have all kind of migrated towards and onto the golf course, or just north of the golf course. So we've got, kind of starting from the top right, we have our venue in the top right portion of the map is our modern pentathlon and our skateboard park venue. That is potentially going to involve a partnership with the city on a pool. We're working and talking through that, and maybe a part of some of the future planning there that they have for the Basin's long-term plans. The venue just to the south of that, across the little access road there, is what we call our VC2, which just means Valley Venue 2, and that has skateboard, street, and BMX freestyle. So that's a venue that both of those venues will transition from one sport to another in the middle of the games. Kind of to the west of that venue, there's a circular arena, and that's a 9,000 seat arena for 3-on-3 basketball. So that one, you'll get a lot of high play, high energy, high action with that. It's our only covered venue. It's not completely covered, but it does have a canopy that keeps one keeps it shaded, also keeps a lot of the light and the sound and those kind of aimed and pointed downwards. And that's the only one that will be in play past 5 or 5:30 at night, based on the competition schedule. And then just to the south of that, in the middle of the golf course, which is the only one that actually falls on the footprint of the golf course, is our BMX racing venue that hosts 6,000 people. It will only be in competition for the first 2 days, but then after that, we'll be using it for Fan Fest, for some activation type things. You may have seen similar Fan Fest activities throughout the FIFA World Cup, which just completed. And so we're going to turn this sports park, the Valley Sports Park, into a center for activity for people throughout the Valley and throughout LA to come enjoy a day in the Valley and really experience the games in a unique manner. Just some other things to note. We only have one main pedestrian entrance, which is to the southeast, and that's the red line to the bottom right there, Michael. Yeah, that would be our main spectator entry. We're building a bridge that crosses, well, a bridge is maybe putting it too nice. So we're building a dock that we're laying across the kind of the riverbed. It's not really a river. It's a kind of a creek or a runoff that'll get people from the Woodley Road side of that runoff over onto the golf course side and into the park. And then over on the Lake Balboa side, which is on the west side of that drawing there, Michael, that will be our back of house entry. That will be where all the traffic, all the accredited individuals, the VIPs, the players, the athletes, the officials will come in the backside and come up into the park that way. So the venue will be completely secure during the course of our play, which is about a 20-day total period. So starting roughly July 5th, 6th, it will be closed off until roughly July 24th, I think, is the final day. So that's kind of a summary. I mean, I'm happy to take questions and answer any questions. I mean, we've done our best to try. I mean, we're working closely with the Army Corps in terms of soil removal and repurposing throughout the site. We're working very closely, to try to avoid, major disruption to the golf course and any, kind of vegetation that exists out there. And by moving these venues over onto the golf course side, we've pretty far away from the bird species up along the river basin there. So
yeah, unfortunately, not totally. So you have moved away from endangered species, which is very helpful and not as close to the Bull Creek restoration area.
Right.
But there are still nesting birds in the golf course there, and there are raptors. So we have both an active red-tailed nest and an active great horned owl nest on the east side of the golf course there. So it's I believe, I mean, I'd have to look at a satellite overlay of your map, but it would be either in the back of house, kind of orange part on the east there, or
It's below that.
or possibly,
It's in the lower, right corner. Where
Of
it says
the,
sketch only, that's where the raptor nests are.
okay, Well,
okay,
that-
maybe this map isn't going as far down as I thought. But in any case, raptors do have particular protections in terms of a 500-foot buffer for construction. So the timing of the games is not, it's not unproblematic, but it's not as bad as I'm more concerned about construction activity during that time. So it'd be helpful to get, I'd love to get together with you outside of this and get a little more detail in terms of construction timelines and what the disruption might be in that kind of bottom right corner.
sure,
Um,
happy to
of
do
the-
so. Yeah, we'd be happy to do so, at any time. Just for, I mean, generally speaking, that area will be the last area that will have any activity really at all. I mean, the bridge, the dock that I mentioned, that'll be put in place, one of the last things that we do. And then the fencing is really the predominant part that we'll be doing down there. And that will go up in, I'll say, mid-June, roughly, would be the time frame on that. And so, we're
Okay, that's
kind of further
helpful.
into
Yeah,
December there.
the owls will be out of the nest by like end of April, but they do
Yeah.
stay in the area. And then
Sure.
the red tails will be out of the nest, hopefully by the time you're doing this, but they still use the nest every evening for like dinner and hang out. So we'll still have to be sensitive to it, but I can send you the GPS locations of the nests and give you some contacts for biologists to work with on that.
Yeah, that'd be helpful. Michael will have my contact as well as Meredith there, and we can work.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'm working closely with Meredith, by the way. I know you can't see anyone in the room, but this is Nurit. I co-chair the sustainability working group for LA 28. So I work really closely with Becky and her team and Meredith.
Yeah, I can see you on the try screen. So
Oh, cool. Okay.
it just says
my
owl underneath you, so it works well.
kind of appropriately, exactly. And then my last question, I just want to clarify, well, there's more questions, but I want to give other people a chance. But the big one, I just want to make sure, so this whole thing has shifted now. There's nothing north of Lake Balboa anymore?
There's nothing north of Lake Balboa. There will be some storage, but nothing that is majorly disruptive, and it'll be really close to the roadside, on the north of the lake there.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. I have more questions, but I'm going to let other people ask some, please.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Couple of general ones, which I think are yes, no, and then a couple maybe not so much. Do the red lines represent, and is the whole perimeter going to be fenced?
Yes.
As far as limiting public pay, I assume there'd be some sort of security associated with them. And then for the parking, so it looks like you're anticipating parking being on the east side, and we call it Woodley Creek, I think, so maybe that's an upgrade from what you observed, but it is a water. Anyway, for the east side of that, are the vehicles? My understanding is that the Olympics was gonna encourage folks, or maybe not even allow parking, and people have to drive through other means or shuttle buses or whatever, but any parking in the basin, will that be on areas that are actually designated for parking, or will there be other areas? And I'm just looking in terms of areas that are more of a natural type habitat, types of things that possibly might get impacted if people were parking and then traversing in patterns that are not typical.
Sure.
So then parking is one. The other is trash. So wherever people do park or arrive, that there just tends to be more trash than usual. And will the Olympics take, with the day you leave, do your best to be sure that all the trash is picked up. And then lastly, just the way I'm understanding, I think, is that there's no permanent facilities except possibly an integration with the new aquatic facility on the far north. That is a Prop K measure that's been pending for years and years and years in terms of siting. They have inadequate funding. Maybe the Olympics can help with that in terms of helping the city with supplementing their funding. But just in general, everything else will be restored, and then maybe we could drill down in terms of what what will it look like once you leave the site of the aquatic facility?
Sure. You might have to remind me of all of your questions, but they were all really good ones.
Parking trash, temporary versus permanent / aquatic facility.
Right. I'll start with parking and really traffic. I mean, as you mentioned, there will not be individual vehicle parking for this other than, kind of VIP kind of Escalade club car kind of thing that are bringing a larger amount of people on accredited passes. It will be bus only predominantly, and any individuals that would be coming in with tickets for games on things like Uber and Lyfts will be directed and kind of geofenced out of the big square that encompasses the entire basin. So you're talking Victory Boulevard across to Balboa, down to Burbank, across to Woodley, and then up to Victory. That entire square will be pretty much will be shut down for the majority of the games, with the exception of access for the golf course on the south of the runoff Encino Balboa golf course. They'll have access to get their golfers in and out of that venue. That's parking. So the other parking, like the bus parking and the things that will be parked on site, will utilize the lots that are near the duck boat rentals at the lake, south of the lake, near the Miracle League field and the playground, as well as the dirt lot that's kind of over towards the Balboa exit there on the south of the lake. So those will be where our buses and or vehicles will park that have accreditation to park back there. So that's parking. Do you have any questions from that?
So the east side of Woodley then, does that mean that's open for parking?
The east side of Woodley will be closed to traffic other than bus and or screened vehicles because of the blast and the bomb assessment.
Okay, so really the closure really goes all the way to the 405 freeway then, would that be
correct?
Accurate?
Correct.
Yeah, so that, okay.
So there will be some buses and spectator parking that will occur on the east side of Woodley, and that there's like a pretty long parallel parking lot over on the nature preserve side. I think that'll be the one that we use, but most of the buses will be staged on Woodley or way south down on Burbank.
Okay, but access will be limited north and south as we have had for major events in past decades.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Victory. Yeah, right. I'm not sure what events have done in the past there, but I know that's the case for this one. Okay. So then trash, we do have a very strong, cleaning and waste and sustainability team. Meredith is a sustainability member, a proud card carrying member, I think, of the sustainability team in one form or another. And it's something we talk about all the time. And we're creating a sports venue here that is fully staffed and will fully take care, be fully self-sufficient in terms of trash removal. We have a very strong sustainability program. Recycling is a big tenet that we're focused on, but of all kinds of recycling and separating it at collection points and getting it out and trying to keep those streams separate. So I can't talk much more on that. I'm not fully versed in that, but those are certainly issues that we are heavily aware of and heavily in tune with. We want to make it a clean and safe and friendly environment that we are putting on there. And as well as our goal is to obviously leave it better after we leave than it was before we moved in. And then your third question. Sure, go ahead. No, go ahead.
The temporary facility versus the permanent and the right. Integration of aquatic.
Yeah, so the only thing currently that is possibly going to be left behind is the pool, and we're in negotiations right now and talks with the city on how to work through their partnership that you mentioned. And I think that there's a fairly good chance that that's going to be a partnership that happens, but at the same time, it's not a done deal at this point. So if we do, it will be in the location that's shown on this map, and it will be, I think they're pairing it with other water features and other things for the community, but I'm not I'm not abreast of their entire plan there, but I do know that that is, we're doing it in that location with that project in mind, if we choose to, or if the deal ends up working out with the city on that.
And everything else will be restored to the way it is.
Yeah, everything else, our agreement with the city and RAP is to restore everything to at least as good, if not a better state than it was before.
Thanks.
Sure.
So another question, and I realize these are very preliminary plans, you don't have full construction documents yet, but I guess my other main concern for this part would be that there are a fair number of mature large trees, not much in the way of like protected trees, but all large trees are really important for shade in Los Angeles. And wondering if you have a sense from the layout yet of significant tree impacts, or if that's still kind of, those surveys are still being done.
Yeah, I mean, they're still being done to a degree. I mean, we're doing our best to miss as many large mature ones as possible. I mean, the nice thing is the move of this venue from north of the lake over to the golf course saves, one known large oak tree that we were really worried about, that we didn't think we could miss in any way. And so I think that is a good thing. I think this location will, there are a couple tree, I'll say beds. They're maybe not the best way to describe them, but groups of trees that we're trying to avoid. But there are 4 or 5 that are at, I'll say a risk of this footprint that are on the golf course. The remainder, we will be doing some, pruning of trees and things like that. But our intention is to really try to miss as many as possible. And if we do, as mentioned, if we do have to, remove trees, we'll be putting back, our intention is to put back similar stage trees as close as possible that we're taking out, and more than I think it's a 5 to 1 or a 6. I think Meredith might know the number, but it's a larger ratio that we'd be putting back than be taking out.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
We don't need those exact details now, but would be interested in the replacement plans and everything later on.
I had a question about the basketball court. I assume the basketball court going to the trees with the basketball court installation and the spectator area. I assume you're probably going to be trying to limit the tree removal for the court installation and the spectator area. And then
yes, that actually sits on the golf driving range. So we are confident that will get in without any trees being removed. There may be some pruning that goes on.
You're using the driving range for the basketball court installation.
Yep.
Okay. That also leads into the next question. The court itself will be a hardwood, I have to assume also, so that will be a temporary court. That will be a temporary court. I didn't know where you were going to be putting that and what the surface is going to be. So you already answered that next question, would be a hardwood. The next question I had was related to having a brain fade here. Sorry. I'm for insanity.
While you're thinking, I can throw another one in there.
Yeah, go ahead.
This isn't a question so much as a suggestion. I believe that Recreation and Parks is considering following Audubon guidelines to improve biodiversity efforts at their golf courses. And, just as a thought, I think there are ways to kind of leave this golf course better than found, and to do a little bit of restoration at those ponds, maybe, with the tree selection. I think there could end up being like a cool sort of restoration or happy biodiversity story here with improvements to the golf course, and would be happy to put you in touch with some folks at Rec and Parks who would be working on that stuff. You may already be in touch with some of them, but happy to make some connections on the biodiversity side if helpful.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. I mean, as you mentioned, I mean, every bit of our thinking in terms of, the planning, just even down to our pathways and like where people are going to walk and how they're going to get around and what the material of those pathways are going to be, we're having those thoughts and discussions and trying to proactively create things that can live on, even if they're not kind of your traditional kind of hard leave behinds.
I remembered my second question, and I'll be quick. If I see something building in the Sepulveda Basin, I have to presume that it's LA 28 involved. There's construction happening on Victory west of Balboa, and it's pretty significant. And I'm just wondering, is that LA 28 and what is?
No,
it's
We-
Lake House.
it's housing.
That's housing?
Yeah. Lake
Yeah,
House.
we don't start, our build cycle doesn't start until
That's
February.
housing happening in the, on the Army Corps and
It's privately owned land.
privately owned?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. I thought that was all Army Corps.
And that's why those office buildings are there, is that, they're privately owned, part of the railroad, I think.
Yeah, we don't start moving any of our, well, we start doing some lay down and prep work in late 27, but we don't start building until February of 28.
All right, thank you.
Okay, any more questions in the room?
So, hi, Mike, it's Charles Hannah.
Hey, Charles.
How you doing?
Great.
So, we're very happy. I'm with Nurun, and I know Pat, that the tree north of the lake is not going to be removed. That's good news. I have one question because I can't read what it is, but there's an arrow pointing up to a square. What's that up there? No, in that corner. See that arrow?
That's actually, it's funny. I didn't even notice that I had that arrow in there, but that is pointing to one of our kind of storage laydown areas.
Okay.
So it's nothing large. It's I think it's maybe where we store some of our cleaning and waste receptacles or things like that. Nothing of great note.
There's at one point there was going to be a utility, but that's when there was something like a temporary power utility station.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right now on this drawing, the utilities are the gray boxes. So that one to the left, the arrow is a gray box, but that's going to be relocated, based on these venue shifts.
Understood. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, sure.
I got a question.
Hey, Larry.
Hey, everybody. Mike. Yeah. Hey, so the Woodley stop on the G line has always been in my mind the big arrival, strategy, in addition to buses. But how do you get into the park from the G line stop on Woodley?
So they're relocating for the games. They're relocating the actual locations of those stops. So there will be a stop. It'll be a little further south on Woodley. So the line will come through. It'll be down on Woodley Road, and then there'll be another. I believe they're still planning to do this, and I may get checked on this by somebody at some point. But I think there's another stop or drop off on Balboa as well.
Got it.
So their plan is to keep the G line operating. The stops will be just relocated a little bit. I mean, I think the reality is that if you are trying to get anywhere close to the basin, it's going to be very hard to get to unless you purposely want to get there to walk or to do something like that. You'll want to, the stops will be the same and get you around it. But unless you're a spectator, you're probably not getting off there with any hopes of getting, anywhere easily.
Really? So basically bus is the only way, or the G line will get you closer to that red entrance that I see down on the bottom.
G line will get you closer to the red entrance. Buses will come as well, but the G line and the spectator buses from a general patron standpoint, there are pickup points at LA Valley College, and I may get that name wrong. And then there's a couple north as well that'll get you on buses, but then the G line is the other route to get you there.
Got it. But that still works very well, the G line.
Yeah.
And it'll work even better because you're rerouting it. It's interesting. All right. Thank you.
Sure.
Anything?
So, sorry, just to follow up. So the red line, where it says sketch only, the far lower right is the only entrance, or because I do see the red.
It's the main entry. So that's where that's where people will be encouraged to go in based on the drop-off points. There's another kind of hard red line to the northeast there that is an accredited entry. So that'll be some of the VIP people, the technical officials, the international sports federations, as well as the ADA access area. So we still haven't fleshed out our full accessibility plan, but that will be the area where most of our ADA individuals will have to come through.
Because that one up there would be very, very close to the Woodley stop.
Right.
If you were able to, I mean, I don't know how many people would be accessing from the bus, but if you're able to accommodate them, you know, it would be, I think it'd be a win-win, because then they could take take the G line, and they're just walking not that far down.
Yeah, well, just to be clear, they're relocating the G line stop further south there on Woodley, so it's not going to be in this usual location.
I don't know what you mean by, so it's gonna have to
So
leave
the G line stop will be more where it says Valley Sports Park than it is currently up at Victory and Woodley.
Got it.
and then it's gonna have to turn around and go back up?
So the bus will, and I may have the directions wrong, the G line bus will come, I think it comes west to east. So it'll come down Balboa, make a stop, if they keep that stop, down Burbank, up Woodley, and then get back on the regular G line route. So make a little roundabout there.
What?
Wow, I love it.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Is it gonna be a commuter?
Well, it's gonna be like it's been.
It's gonna be the same bus that they use normally, yeah.
So it's it's not gonna go down Victory then?
It's not going to go Victory, and part of the reason for that is because of the designation of this event as a U.S. Secret Service level event. We have a blast assessment, a bomb perimeter that's set up, and that G line is right on the edge of that. So they're very cautious about vehicles.
Are you gonna close Victory Boulevard to traffic?
Victory will be closed from the 405 to just west of Balboa, like just on the west side of Balboa.
For how long? I mean, every day
It'll be closed essentially from, like I said, I think it's July 7th-ish until July 24th-ish. I may have those dates off by a day or two, but it'll be about 14 to 17 days.
Are there any other street closures? I mean, so we're hearing the G line's gonna be detoured.
Right.
We're hearing Victory Boulevard's gonna be closed. Are there any other street closures? Besides, I guess Woodley would be closed.
Balboa will be closed from Victory to Burbank. And then Burbank will be closed from Balboa to Woodley.
There's nothing there.
And then Woodley will be closed from, I guess,
Burbank
to Victory, right? And then there'll be a few little offshoots towards the 45 that will be closed as well. The ramp at Victory will only be for the Games Route network. People will not be able to get off at Victory going north on the 405, while the games are happening.
Going north or going south?
Going north. South, you won't be able to get on it anyways. But yeah, it's not going to be closed, but you won't be able to get it onto it from Victory, because Victory will be closed.
Kira, did you have a question?
Yes, thank you. Can you just clarify, this is the only location in all of the valley?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you. And then, do you have?
The agency, International Park, that's gonna be in Burbank, like, one of those ones.
Okay.
So it's gonna be some, but nothing.
So I'm talking about game activities. This is the only, that's pretty cool and also a nightmare. And then do you anticipate any road closures for the construction prior?
I couldn't hear can somebody repeat that question for me?
Do you anticipate road closures prior, like at what point will they begin during construction?
No, they will really be focused on the month of July. There may be a few temporary ones where we're moving, there's large seating bowls and seating sections in and out, but those will be kind of more on a construction timeline basis. There will not be major closures until we get close to the perimeter, the secure perimeter being in place, which is early July of 28.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay.
I have one last question. Bicycle friendliness for the event. If I were to ride my bike into the event, I assume I'll be capable of doing that.
You will. There is bike parking on the east side of Woodley over on the preserve, kind of that long rectangular parking lot that runs north-south there on the preserve side.
So it'll be a bike. I'll be able to lock my bike up. There won't be somebody, will there be somebody there supervising the bikes or?
There'll be a bike.
I'll be on my own to lock it up.
No, there'll be a bike check-in area. I don't know to what extent they'll have locks, et cetera, but I think it'll be similar to what they had for the FIFA World Cup around town at the watch parties, which is a checked bike area.
Yeah. But there should be no problem with me biking into the area.
No.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if you have an overlay on.
Regular bike, not e-bike.
I can get a better.
Okay.
Outline the. Relative to all the results of the guys and all the.
Don't involve it.
I could not hear that at all.
Really? Could you show us this map superimposed on a map or a satellite view that would give us a better indication of the outline on existing. Right.
I can plot that on there, when I do the video, I can plot this right onto it. It's just right up at it's right at the, northeast corner of the intersection of the busway and Woodley. It's that little corner up there.
Yeah.
It looks like it penetrates well down into the Woodley Lake all.
It does. It goes about halfway down through Lake Balboa, but it's not over to Lake Balboa, so I can drop that on a map for you. Okay.
I've got two more. So if we have road closures on Victory, Balboa, Woodley, Burbank, is there gonna be provisions for emergency vehicles to be able to get access to those roads if needed? And
yes.
Okay, and then because, unfortunately, and hopefully not during the Olympics, but we seem to have fires in the basin pretty frequently.
Yeah.
And the other thing, is there any impact on the takeoff or approach to Van Nuys Airport?
There is, and yes. And that will be talked about, and there will be some adjustment on flight pass because of the games and because of the security level. I'm not too versed in what exactly those will be, but those will be changed for the games, just as they would be over any other kind of major event of this many, people. The other thing, I thought you were going one way with the road closures on Victory, but there are a few businesses and a few condominium and apartment places on Victory in our closed area, and all residents and business owners in those areas will have vehicle passes that'll get them through our checkpoints, to their locations. So just an FYI there.
Okay, just related to the airport impacts. This is the first time I'm thinking about it and the first time hearing about it. Is that going to be communicated to, for example, the Van Nuys Airport Citizens Advisory Committee, to the Encino Neighborhood Council, Lake Balboa Neighborhood Council? I mean, there's a number of folks who have focused on the Van Nuys Airport.
Yeah, again, we have a task force that's working on that. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to answer too in depth on that area, but we do have a security team that works on this and all the other venues, and they will be, if they haven't already, working with those groups.
Okay, we should be moving along. We've got a lot of people here.
Great. Thank you, guys. Appreciate your time. We'll see you up there soon.
Much.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks.
Get a like that guy.
Thank you. I have to switch to virtual actually for the second hour. Do you have enough for in-person votes? Are there voting items left on the agenda? I have to switch to virtual.
I don't know if we're voting on anything.
Are we voting on anything? Do you have enough? Okay, I will still be on the Zoom meeting.
We've got a quorum,
Okay.
even if you were there to stay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Larry, I think you're on.
All right. Hi. So I see Chief Barna here, so I don't need to talk about LAFD, but he's got a new report on Q2 on fires. That would be really great to add. Is Rosie here in terms of the homelessness
Yeah,
report?
Rosie's here. Or
Okay,
she
so
was here.
Rosie, okay, so Rosie's got the homelessness report. Is Hannah here from Army Corps?
Yes, I'm here.
Good. Okay, so you can give an update on the order of magnitude study and what people are looking at in terms of zone 3. Is that okay?
I would not be the person for that, but I can get information at a later date.
Okay. Okay, I'll just mention that there's movement in that direction. And so the other things that remain is that we still have River Rangers, Conservation Corps working up until this week full time in Zone 11, but they're actually going to step away because they have 2 crews running. One of them's been in the basin now for almost a year, but they got some backlog to go some other places, so they'll be there at least one day per week. And we'll come back if there's additional dedicated funding from the 22 million that's focused on the basin. And then Rec and Parks, I can mention briefly about the pool. So there is a great opportunity. We really need to find a way to make it happen. But an interim pool is permitted in very less strict ways than a permanent pool. And Army Corps is completely supportive of the interim pool becoming a permanent pool, but there just needs to be a lot more engineering that goes with it. So that's the rush right now to get that in place. But it would just cause the difference between the permitting cost for an interim versus a permanent pool, which would be about $3 million, would be one hell of a deal. So Rec and Parks is all for it, so they're working hard to try to make that happen. And then,
Larry, is there any effort being made to make up the shortfall between the Prop K funding through either the mayor's office or the city's funding or the Olympics or both probably?
so the Olympics are gonna do that's, I think it's like a $35 million pool that we will be able to get for $3 million is the basic concept, which is really an exciting proposal. And I don't know exactly about the shortfall issue between Prop K, but I know in terms of the overall aquatic center, but I just knew the pool construction itself. And I know CD6 is working hard on this as well.
Well, it would be if the Olympics come in with 35 million, that's more than the identified shortfall. So
Yep.
that'd
Yes.
be good.
Yes. And so the Hearst team is actually doing some additional work. They identified some encampments with the support of LASA, CD6, up north of the archery range that are actually being addressed. All of the repopulations have been addressed by the park rangers. There's about a total of 4 of them in the last month or so that have been addressed by park rangers / HRST. See what else would be of interest here. LA Sand continues to operate. I'm getting overall numbers from them. Bureau of Engineering has continued to focus on, of the 22 million, the 3 big bricks and mortar projects that the state is expending on Prop 4 funds. You've already heard about the mobility, pedestrian mobility efforts along Victory Boulevard from Lake Balboa. You've already heard about the $3 million, so that'd be $6 million to kind of complete that package of money that they already have in place, about 5.5. $3 million for the restoration of the observation posts that are sinking into the wildlife lake. The Bureau of Engineering is going to do, and then Rick and Parks is taking the lead on doing a premier field in the soccer fields, adding lights to the soccer field parking area to one premier field, putting in smart irrigation, et cetera, into that location. There is a effort to do some kind of press event with Jesse Gabriel and Henry Stern's office to announce some of the work coming forward. And we're also looking to actually, there's funding going for vegetation management to Crew 4 from LAFD, and hopefully potentially additional funding for Conservation Corps, River Rangers, and Resilience Force Chrysalis. And then yes, so there's hope, and maybe I'm premature here, Hannah, but there was a effort to take a look at working in Zone 3 for the Army Corps. That's their 100% responsibility to actually deal with both encampments and some of the non-natives in that area. And then Rec and Parks is also helping us with the CEQA Noe NIPA, or the $208,000 that Conservation Corps has to potentially work in the Bull Creek area. And that I think I've announced before. And we did a walk with Pat Bates and Nuritz and Dan Cooper and others, et cetera, in the past. So I think that's what's mostly of interest in terms of what's happening that is worth reporting. Any questions?
Thank you, Larry. We have questions in the room.
Hey.
I shouldn't ask, when do we get a ranger station, but I sort of,
Yeah.
everyone's chuckling.
Make it an Olympics facility.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, with the 3 million we got from Brad Sherman for the ranger station.
That's the same thing with the pool. They got 3 million for the pool.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
there you go. Well, the Rangers can swim.
We've been trying on the Ranger Station and plopping it down over where it would be close to the sports complex.
Right.
Make it an Olympic event.
But we haven't figured that out yet.
Okay. Thank you, Larry.
Yep. Thanks, everybody.
Okay, and I think Rosie is up next.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. My name is Rosie Avetisian. I am the field deputy for the Lake Balboa area and the Sepulveda Basin for Councilmember Padilla's office. Just some updates on my end. I know in the last few meetings I've been talking a lot about the homelessness that's occurring in the basin and our housing efforts. So I am happy to say that that's moving forward. Our tiny homes that are located in Sun Valley officially open on August 10th. And we're actually going to start housing individuals from the by name list, especially in Zone 3, that week. So those efforts will start on August 12th, but we're looking to do about 2 people per week into the tiny homes, and LASA will be helping us on board. We have heard from them directly that a lot of the individuals in Zone 3 are receptive to going indoors and accepting services. However, in Zone 4, which is actually near Bull Creek, there is a lot of resistance. So we will focus on all the individuals that are interested in going indoors first and getting them situated. But either way, we do have this by name list of the people that have already been identified to go in. So that should help alleviate a lot of these efforts. So in terms of, homelessness and housing, that's the update. I know that I have also sent an email in the last 2 weeks or so, just kind of asking the Audubon Society and different organizations for their top 5 priorities and goals of the basin overall. And I just kind of want to explain a little bit of the rationale behind that. But ultimately, especially with the Olympics coming to LA and the Valley in particular, there's a huge opportunity here for the basin to improve it, but also have a lasting impact. So I want to gauge the community and understand what are some of the priorities that you all would want, and how we can get the funding to make sure that some of these projects happen. I know a ranger station is probably one of them, just because I have been hearing that for quite some time now. But yeah, if you all could email me, and it really is kind of one of those situations where it would be like in an ideal world, right? What would be your your suggestions and what would you want to see in the basin, assuming that the city had all the money to make it happen, right? But just kind of thinking big and seeing how we can accommodate it or make some of the projects happen. One exciting one that I've kind of been trying to pursue, and I think we're getting somewhere, are the medians. So not only maintaining the medians on like a quarterly or kind of like a what is it, not biannually, but whatever, twice a year, but also just reimagining the median. So planting more trees, more flowers, more shrubs, and even kind of like the concrete areas along Balboa Boulevard, right from Victory to Burbank, if we can beautify them. So I have the street services, so Bureau of Street Services working on designs already. So that's I don't really know how we were able to do that, but I'm not questioning it. So they are working on design so that we can try and just make the medians surrounding the basin a lot nicer. And that's where I'm also going to need your input, because we will be planting more trees and more flowers to make it nicer, but we want to make sure that it's sustainable and that we're using all the native species as well. So a lot of opportunities coming. I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver, but that's why I'm trying to gauge and get as many ideas as I can to pitch it and see what we can fund for. As Larry mentioned, one thing that we're trying to really do is just make sure that we have a constant stream of funds coming into the basin, right? So like not just one time, but how can we kind of sustain this and make sure that there's always more being poured into the basin. So yeah, that's something that we're constantly fighting for, trying to gauge the community, and yeah, and as it all comes down, I'll be sure to share that with you all. I think that ultimately wraps up my update. I do want to touch on, I know someone mentioned the construction that's right near or right across the street from Birmingham High School. So that construction is the affordable housing development that's coming to the area. That's kind of like, I guess you could say, Victory and Louise, but yeah, that has nothing to do with the Olympics. That's the development that's currently under construction.
Thank you.
And I did speak to developers about that. They're currently going to be doing some additional night work for the next 2 weeks. So we have gotten some complaints about that, but they did pull a permit to work throughout the night. And the reason for that is because if they didn't, they would have to work during the day and they would have to shut down a portion of Victory Boulevard, which I'm sure you're all aware that would cause significant backlog. So instead they're working throughout the night for 2 more weeks, and then their night operations will conclude, and then there will be some additional work again mid-October, again in the night for about 2 more weeks. So just to preface that, that's what that is all about.
Rosie, I'm Cassie Schreiner, and I wanted to make a comment that if you're working with Bureau of Street Services, they are not real big on native trees, and so you have to really insist. If this work on the medians is going to involve native plants, it has to involve native trees, because they have a very limited number they support right now.
Okay. No, and that's also why I'm letting you all know too, because we want to make sure that it not only looks nice, but that they're native and that we can sustain it. And so, yeah, I won't, our office won't let them continue if it's not what we want. So we'll be sure to prioritize that. Thank you.
Thank you. Rosie, what's the timeline where you want to get these suggestions in?
As soon as you can, just because I'm not sure if you all know, but we do have a new member of our team. His name is Nate. He comes from a lot of city experience, but he's our new capital improvements director. So he's working on a lot of these projects. But the sooner I could get him the proposals and everything that we're looking for, the sooner he can start pretty much asking all the departments and advocating for more funds to make it happen. So there really is no deadline for it. I would just say if you all do have the suggestions ready, to send that over to me as soon as possible. But I will say, just for my sake and from what I'm guessing, because there's council recess right now, we have some time, but council does start back up in, I believe it's about 2 more weeks or so. So I would say once council's up, then hopefully by then I'll have all of the suggestions and priorities.
Wonderful. I have a packet, I have mine ready. I have some from Barb at Audubon. I think that we'll call an Audubon Conservation Committee meeting and just try and get them in organized, because what I see is this is actually taking the vision plan and like it's like a cake and then adding the frosting to it. It's kind of, because the vision plan, if you think about it, is really, there's a lot of areas that are very bare bones, and they really, for example, big chunks of the wildlife area are unvegetated. The model airplane field is virtually unvegetated. So,
Yeah.
and the medians are looking a lot better, thank you. But yeah, so I think we understand what you're asking for, and it'd be great if like CNPS could jump into it and
Absolutely.
RCD. What do we need?
I mean, ultimately, the vision plan is great, right? I mean, it outlines everything and completely reimagines the Sepulveda Basin. But realistically speaking, I mean, it's a lot, I guess, easier and feasible to ask for. I'm just throwing out numbers here, but like $5 million for a project rather than, right, $4 billion to completely reimagine the Sepulveda Basin. So I guess what I'm asking for are like not only suggestions and priorities, but if there are parts of the vision plan that we would want to be implemented sooner that we can advocate for, let's do that until we get the remainder of the funds to completely out the whole thing. So that's kind of where I'm going with that.
Thank you. And that's what we'll get you, and a few benches and a few trees will go a long ways. So
I'm here.
Rosie, can I-
Yeah.
So I think it aligns with what they.
What's that?
Could I jump in after Rosie? Because I think my question or my reason for being here aligns with what she's talking.
Sure, okay.
Okay.
I have, yeah, I've got to also, okay, well, how long do you need, or?
5 minutes or less.
Okay.
Promise. Yeah.
Because I have Chief Barnum waiting.
Oh, she did Chief Barnum first. So I didn't realize this was here.
Yeah, I'd kind of like to get through.
Yeah.
The chief and then.
Keep us safe, yeah.
Okay.
And the Army Corps.
And the Army Corps and.
Okay.
And I have 1 minute, which if I could do 1 minute, which I forgot to. So I do have the count for the pit count in the Sepulveda Basin. If people want to hear it real quick. So it was 235 was the 2025 number.
What else?
The point in time count for homelessness in the Sepulveda Basin, right? And it was 235 in January 2025. And so this last year in 2026, instead of having 15 people do the pit count, we had 55 people doing the pit count. So it was very complete. But the ultimate number, these are both raw count numbers, was 200. And I could break it down if you want, but there was basically about 70 that were in vehicles, 130 that were in tents and encampments, and they, ones that were there would have been moved from 6, 11, 12, and 1 into other areas. But so went from 235 to 200, even though we also had many, many more people counting. So that's the number, raw number.
Okay.
Yeah. Lots of work still to do.
Okay, yeah.
So I want to get back to Rosie.
Yeah.
So Rosie, I think there's 2 separate things going on here. One is you're asking for top 5 goals, and then you're talking about the medians. Am I understanding that correctly, that these are 2 separate initiatives?
Ultimately, with the medians, I'm kind of just giving an update that an improvement is already underway and that we're making improvements with it. and that I'll be needing your suggestions as far as what to plant and how to kind of make sure irrigation wise and sustainability that we have it down packed. And then so that's one thing. And then separately are other priorities and suggestions that you have for the basin.
Right, okay, so the median is what I really want to ask about. So, have you solicited like, California Plant Society specifically? I mean, I hear things like flowers. I mean, there are definitely bushes that are native that do flower at various times of the year. And you know, I'm a bit concerned when I hear the city say flowers, knowing how they treat other public places, but knowing that these are medians, I imagine you'd want something that you don't have to be out there doing much maintenance. So, I don't know, I just didn't know who your partners are in the city, because as was mentioned, I don't think that the city streets folks are focused that much on you know, that type of mindset.
On native trees.
Well, but also bushes if you're looking at other filling in there too, so.
Put it in and they're back at you.
Okay,
Water it.
yeah, thank you, Rosie.
No more ice.
Can we move to Joshua from Rec and
You said
Parks?
Chief Barnett, you said next.
Huh?
You said Chief Barnett would be next.
I was going in order.
Oh.
I've got people in order here.
Yeah.
We'll get Chief Barnett comes right after Joshua.
Hello,
Hi, Joshua.
just a quick few updates. We have been working on the archery area, clearing brush there. We received your email regarding the water lettuce, and we've been monitoring that on a daily basis. It keeps appearing in the same two spots, the boat ramp area and the spot to the left of it. So we're removing it as needed. Coyote signs have been ordered. We're still waiting on the sign shop, so we'll have those hopefully soon.
Right. Thank you for getting our no fishing signs.
Yeah, I was there today. They're still in good condition. They haven't been vandalized, so we're monitoring those as well.
People sit right underneath them fishing. Anyhow, thank you.
Are they wood posts or metal posts?
They're metal.
Okay, well, that's good. They can't be cut down.
Well, they could, but.
Well, you gotta bring a grinder.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easier to bring a chainsaw than to bring a grinder.
Anyhow, is that it, Joshua? I think
That's
it was. Okay, thank you so much.
I have a chainsaw, I don't remember.
Chief Barnett.
Signs up fishing fish.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
Great.
So sorry for being late today. Had another engagement, but I just wanted to say hi and then introduce you all to my partner over here. If you can see in the background, that's familiar. But that's our new mascot here in the office. So that's from the Audubon Society and that Larry got for the fire department. So thank you so much for that. It's always it's such a nice thing to have here in the office. It brings a lot of joy. But I wanted to share a couple things first. I would like to discuss the success of the vegetation management program that's been going on. So we ran the numbers, and the Q2 numbers are in. We had a 29% reduction in fires in 2026 over 2025. We went from 86 incidents to 61 incidents in Q2. And this is showing in the early part of the year the success of the program. What we will see in the second half will be a much more equal drop off, but we're also comparing to 2024. So we have basically 3 years of numbers to compare to. And if you recall, we started vegetation management in July, August of 2025. So the big numbers are going to be showing the comparison between 2024, 2025, and 2026. So we'll see that. We had a huge drop off in the first quarter, and I don't know if I was able to share those numbers with you. And I don't have them exactly in front of me. We had about a 50% reduction in call volume from year over year for quarter one. Outstanding results. The fire department is seeing the results of that. And we are also seeing a significant reduction in people experiencing homelessness, which was a major source of fire activity. So that all is all in due to the vegetation management program and the city partnership that we've all been working together to make this Sepulveda Basin safe for all. So I wanted to quickly share those numbers. There was some recent fire activity. One of them was a model airplane start, and that was in zone 9. I will pull up the zone map and share it because all right, let me know if you guys can see the map. That's our zone map. Can you see it?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, we had a fire in zone 9 here, and it was a down plane. Actually, your Pat Bates showed up, and we had a great conversation, and she took some cool photos. But we were able to use that opportunity to create a fire break during the original fire. We were able to extend that to create a fire break, which helped. It was an interesting location, and I don't want to get too long here, but I'm very excited about kind of the placement of the fire. I couldn't have planned it better because now we have a different couple of modeling. We have where the goats were. It's in the same general area where the goats were active. You have where no goats were. You have now where the fire occurred, and that we took it to create a fire break, which overlapped with some of the goat area. And then the fire also overlapped with some area that didn't have goats. So we basically have a pretty good sampling of what it looks like. No goats, no fire, goats, goats fire, no goats fire. You can follow with me on that one. So it's kind of I thought it was really cool. You couldn't have planned it better to make it a neat little sampling of what each one might do. So it'll be good to see how that progresses. And in the future, we can compare a goat fire model, a fire model, or a goat model. So interesting. I was recently able to take our new deputy mayor of public safety around the Sepulveda Basin and show her all of the new, all of the areas that we've been working together and some of the areas that we have the highest fire risk. We also had a fire in zone 2, right where the this corner. Can you see my pointer where I'm pointing or no?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, great. It started right here where the 2 is, and it went just about right here. But that brought a good conversation up with our team to say this fuel bed here, not a ton of, I would say, native vegetation, just kind of a big monoculture, mustard grass. I know there is some things in there that we would want to keep, but we had a conversation about, hey, maybe this might be an area where we might want to do some planned controlled burns and create a patchwork where we don't have a complete burnout. We might do burns in sections to create little pockets of fire break where you're not completely removing all of the habitat at once, yet you're creating pockets where a fire won't go from one side to the other and in an uncontrolled fashion. Another area and candidate of that would be the other side here of the lake. I drove by this too, and this is pretty thick. I love the native planting that's occurring here along here. Beautiful. I'd love to see it go all the way down here. I'm sorry, I'm getting a call. But anyways, okay, I gotta go, you guys. Sorry, emergencies call, but thank you all very much. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you, bye-bye.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
I was gonna ask you a question. That working model airplane deal, is that in zone 9?
The model airplane is zone 9.
It's in zone 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
And
lighter area there in the lower.
Oops.
And then
lower left corner.
Okay, and then the airplane that crashed was a gas powered plane?
No, they're kerosene. It's a turbine powered model airplane. They carry about 2 liters of fuel with, when it crashes, the red hot turbine goes into 2 liters of kerosene. So the fire there was partially accelerant, and then the conditions were perfect. They managed to extend it into about a 4-acre controlled burn. And it was an area the goats had been in, and the goats didn't
There
like
was
it.
nothing to burn, or very little to burn.
No, it was pretty darn smoky. I was right there. But yeah.
And it didn't take long for the fire department to get there.
They're there immediately, yeah.
So, but it wasn't in the goat graze area,
It
was it?
was the goat grazer.
Okay.
And what was mostly burning, but I've got an article in the next Spano about it. What mostly burned was stumped grass. It didn't even ignite the stems of the mustard. So it was mostly what burned was stomped grass and thistles. Yeah, this coyote bush survived everything. Anyhow, let's get through our guests here, and I know we've got.
One last question, how was the fire department notified? Was there somebody there that?
Yes, at the model airplane park, everyone called the fire department.
Oh, they knew about it right away?
Yes, it was like all on fire. It was a huge.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
They do this once a day at least.
Really?
It was a huge.
Well,
fire.
do the math, he says there was 86 and a quarter.
Well,
Yeah.
so it's not all homeless fire,
No.
homeless started fire.
Okay.
50-50 maybe? Whatever.
Let's move up. Hannah, do you have an update for us?
Yes. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I got decently good news on the master plan.
Whoa.
So the Sepulveda and Hanson master plans and EAs have gone through our Office of Council review, and they are just going through our chain of command now at the Los Angeles District for approval. In August, we are going to notify the public and you guys, of course, of the release of the draft, as well as a draft release presentation that we will have. So I will make sure to update everybody here when that is scheduled. We are anticipating sometime in the fall, but TBD on the exact dates for that. We heard from LA28 today, so just so everybody is aware, the Corps is working very closely with LA28. All of your concerns have been heard today, and I will bring those back to our team so that we can assess appropriately. Nothing that LA28 will do will not be. We'll have to go through USACE's process. So rest assured that I am tracking all the environmental concerns that we have for any Olympic construction and closures and traffic and the red-tailed hawk and great horned owl nests. So I will be sure to communicate that with the rest of the team.
Great.
A couple of weeks ago, Larry and Pat and I all got to meet up to do the homeless count for Zone 3, I believe that's what we're calling it, the river area, LA River area.
Correct.
I don't have any updates on when we're doing the cleanup or anything like that, but I can get with the right people and give you an update at a later date. But that is in the works, I am sure. And yes, I will provide an update on that. That's all I got, unless anybody has any questions for me.
Thank you. So just to clarify, we'll be getting notified that for the public comment period for the master plan early fall.
Yes, in August, we will
August.
notify you when we are doing the draft release and presentation.
Okay, same for Hanson, by the way?
Yes, same for Hanson.
Okay. Do we have any questions?
Just once it's released or once we're notified it's going to be released, do we have to push for at least a 45-day comment period, or will you make it at least that long? Keep in mind that this may be a big deal for neighbor councils. They actually request 60 days because they go to committee and then to full board action. But
Sure.
let us know what we need to do to make that happen.
Yeah, I've talked to our team about it, and because our plan has gotten delayed so much, we are trying to hit our deadline for this. And so I'll take it back to the team again to see if we can do 45 days, but it may be 30 days just due to the delays that we had with Office of Council and our deadline for getting this pushed out. For our procedures, it is standard 30-day draft public comment period. But I will talk with the team again and see if we can push to 45.
All right, well, the fact that it got delayed on your side, the public and the different interest groups shouldn't be punished for that, and 45 is really a push. We want to at least make a monthly cycle, and 30 days, you may not, by the time they get the information, they may not make a monthly cycle. So, I mean, I would actually push for 60 days. This has been going on so long, I don't think an extra 30 days or 15 days is gonna make a difference personally. But again, if we have to do what we did before, we will, but it'd be better if the core would just say, yeah, we want to accommodate public input, and those are the different stakeholder groups. So I'm requesting 60 days personally, because I know how neighborhood councils work. And the other groups sitting around the table here can, indicate their points of view on that.
Sure, I understand your concern, and I will take it back to the team to discuss.
I'm seeing nothing else. Thank you, Hannah.
Thank you, everybody.
Glenn, can I stick Veronica in front of you?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.
Oh, no, I appreciate being here. I've been on the Zoom a few times and I see some of my friends there.
So tell us about yourself and.
Yeah, so I'm Veronica Dave. I work at Chrysalis. We are a nonprofit, been around over 40 years, that helps people who are facing barriers to employment get back on their feet in a variety of ways. We serve about 8,000 people a year in various offices, including one of our great offices in the San Fernando Valley. And we were very fortunate this year to receive a grant from LA28 under their sustainability project. So a lot of people who are on the Zoom earlier, Meredith and Becky and Mike Deming, want to see the legacy portion of the Olympics start as soon as possible. So 180 organizations applied, and we were one of 8 that was selected. And our proposal, we pitched helping with fuel management in the Sepulveda Basin because of the mayor's office, and Rosie and the fire department welcomed us into that world last year. So originally I was going to be working closely with LA28 and Mike Deming on clearing maybe pedestrian pathways or certain pieces, and get it ready for that event. But he does not need us, particularly because it's been moved to the golf course. So we're not like an operational assist, which is not really the focus of the grant. The grant is to leave the world better behind after the Olympics and improve. So I see that as helping people get jobs and improve their life while they're also beautifying their community and making the Sepulveda Basin safer for future generations. Like some people say, where were you during the Olympics? And I heard a lot of I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 people say, oh, I was working and I got my life back together through work that was provided through this grant. That's part of my goal, and a lot of the work that Larry and Rosie are doing to get more money into the basin. So I just wanted to let you all know that right now I'm trying to what that project will be. The money essentially funds some training for people that we serve, as well as about 2 to 3 months of work. I'm definitely going to coordinate with Chief Barna, with Larry, and with Rosie. They already know some of this. One of the ideas is that we potentially help out in the Bull Creek area, which Charles and I are going to talk about more. I've toured the site with the group, and maybe we could do some debris cleanup, graffiti removal, et cetera, et cetera. I would very much love to be part of a project that does help with fuel reduction and also restoration of an area. And I think through the LA 28 project, I've met other people who provide plants and seeds and, you know, it's just a very robust culture in this space of how to improve the world, and make it fireproof at the same time. So if there's, you know, the reason why I was thinking about what Rosie was saying is that, you know, she's doing it on a big picture, right? And we're just gonna be a small postage stamp on, you know, all of the money and the vision plan. But I wanna coordinate it with people who know what they're doing and know where their priorities are and know where we can get environmental approval, you know, in a relatively fast way to do the work we're doing. It could be in zone 11 and 12, right? By Haldalti, and maybe we just take a piece of that and try to bring it back to its native, you know, resources. And we have some money to bring in trainers to help our crews learn about that. And then we have this great community to help guide us at the same time. That was a little bit longer than I wanted, but I want, as you're thinking about the request for Rosie, as you work with Larry and Charles, think that there's a like pocket of workers and money to do something between now and the middle of next year after bird nesting season finishes and before it starts again. We'd love to get to work. And that might include on-the-job training, so like chainsaw training, right? What needs to be cut, like we did before, we're in zone 11, 12, we got rid of like 3 tons of debris during a training.
Yeah.
So imagine what we could do over 2 to 3 months of a larger crew full-time. That was only 2 half days. And we'll work with the city to get the debris removed, and we'd even love to turn it into mulch and return it to the basin, you know, all that good stuff too.
Much would you grant?
100,000.
Does it have a time window for when?
It does, but LA 28 is flexible. They want the right project at the right time in the right place. So
So
they're,
leading up to the Olympics or?
yeah, but they're gonna have 3 rounds of grants. So I think technically the grant agreement says to be done by the middle of next year, 2027. And that's, you know, what I want to get started. I want to show something sooner rather than later. But it could be that we get extra funding or there's more funding brought in by the state or the city that we could, you know, build upon. But there's some flexibility, I think, because of the nature of the venue being created in the basin and how it was constantly a moving target. So, we'll see. If it's the right project, I can probably sell it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's, you know, I'm sure there's lots of projects. I mean, just thinking about like the ponds at the Woodley Golf Course, which are really, they're good habitat, but they're overgrown. There's some non-native plants in them. They're very overgrown with weeds. Maybe the birds like it, but you know, there's little pockets that, you know, can be done in discrete projects, even over in Gelty, much closer to the river. There's a lot more natives and there's chunks there that could really be restored easily.
Right.
Versus where you guys were working, which is invasive monoculture, basically.
Right.
So
your expertise would be great, and we'll, you know, maybe we can walk the site again together, and I'll talk with Chief Barna and make sure that we're in line with what they're doing too. They've been great supporters welcoming us into the fold, thanks to Larry's blessing, and I want to make them proud too.
yeah, we've really got a great crew of people. Larry is clapping.
Yeah, no, I think it's amazing. I just love what you're doing.
Thank you.
It's really
I really appreciate it. I think
on so many levels.
And we're even, some of the folks who are being removed will hopefully end up in the tiny homes, and we're gonna go out there and recruit. That's not the right word. We're gonna have like soft handouts that if you're ready to work, and then wouldn't it be great if they were working in the basin?
Yeah.
So.
And
We
working
need more
outside.
money for that, you know, this grant won't really do that life cycle because people need time to stabilize, and the Hope the Mission group, they really do the stabilization work for people who are coming inside. We're sort of that next step when you're ready, and the cool thing about what we do is we have crews. So we're not just saying like, some people who are like, hey, if you're ready to go get a job outside, and you know, about 2,000 people would say, work on our crew, and we'll do wraparound services and we'll have a supervisor and all that stuff, you know, you've met them, so, I love it. I'm really
That's
grateful to be
amazing.
here.
Yeah,
It's a
wraparound
small start,
service.
yeah, yeah. So thank you very much. I don't want to take up too much time, but I
Thank you.
I have a ton of notes from what I heard and we'll come back to you.
Thank you for coming.
And I'll work with Rosie on whatever your dreams are, but think about, yeah, the postage stamp piece.
Yes.
And I have just one more question.
Sure.
So my neighbor council gave a grant to your group a number of years ago.
Oh, okay.
So
Which
maybe-
one are you? Are you Balboa or Encino?
Well, actually, it was wearing a different hat, Northridge East. We were
Oh.
working on Parkway cleanups. And at the time, the group was doing it, and I think we moved on to other things.
Yeah, that, because it's paid work, so we do where we have the contract, where we
Yeah,
have
when you gave
contract.
the grant, so
Yeah,
you had paid people.
right.
So anyway, here's a question. So if you have a valley presence, 'cause I think that may have been part of the issue, this was like 10 years ago.
Okay.
If you have a valley presence, are you able to do more than just say Sepulveda Basin?
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, if you have something for adjacent areas, you've got folks
Oh,
close
definitely.
by.
Yeah, no, we, what we call our chrysalis enterprises, we work all over, from Anaheim, the Inland Empire, Venice Beach, on and on. So much of it is driven by contracts, and if we can get a crew contract for a full year, that's when we buy a truck and we have a supervisor and, we can commit to a site for that amount of time. To do like one-off projects, that typically comes through our contracts with the city or the county. So we have a contract with the Office of Public Works, Office of Beautification, the city of LA, and we have a crew that's employed by them full-time, and they send the crew out wherever it is needed, and things like that. So there's different ways where you might see our crews out at work. If you see us on the freeway, that's through our Caltrans grant program. That's been.
You have a client, but if you have a basin clients in the valley, so.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we also have people downtown who might come out and work in the valley too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that was the issue before, and that the reason I'm asking is, there are folks who might have some things, if you have presence here in the basin for an extended period of time, there may be folks around you who may have something.
Or like more full-time jobs.
Van Nuys,
Yeah.
Lake Balboa,
Like 30 years, just neighborhood councils in December.
Right. We do a lot of bid work too in downtown, so we
Okay,
the business improvement districts and things like that, but
I'm just asking because.
yeah.
Neighbor council money is much more limited than,
No.
what LA 20.
But you're right, if we consolidate, that would be fabulous.
Particular, anyway, okay.
Yeah,
You have a card?
yeah, I'll leave my card. Let's
Thank
keep,
you.
I have thought about the neighborhood council as an idea, but there's so many of them.
All neighborhood council money together.
Yeah.
We get an opportunity with them.
Yeah, you get to do it together, let me tell you.
That's asking a lot.
Okay.
Councils to work together, but there's an opportunity
For
there.
everyone online, everyone is talking among themselves right now. And you're next,
Okay,
Glenn.
so Encino Neighborhood Council had, let's see, since the last meeting. So I guess I'm looking ahead now. So during this meeting, I've been texting our neighborhood council president and the chair of our traffic and transportation committee regarding some of the things that were announced on the Olympics presentations, and you've got their attention. So just know that they will watch for some meetings regarding that. I assume the same thing may be happening with Lake Balboa and possibly, I don't know. But the comment was that, there was an LA 28 meeting on Saturday that some folks went down to, and that we got more information specifically related to, the valleys, and I guess the folks, when they went down to that meeting, so. Other than that, our next meeting is fourth Wednesday of August. And I think they're planning to do another movie night in September. And okay.
Cool. Okay. So we're done with our.
Get Miriam Stills and then.
Right, I have item 6. Miriam is not here. So we've covered everything in 5. Okay, item 6 on the agenda. I sent out an attachment. We're continually getting dead birds in the wildlife reserve because of illegal fishing. The illegal fishing is absolutely rampant. People literally sit right under the no fishing signs fishing. This has gone on forever. I'm sick of it. And, there, like the state, Fish and Wildlife Department has basically volunteer patrols that they're trained, they get a uniform. I'd like to seriously look at this at a future meeting. It's getting rather late today. But I really think that we could use volunteer patrols in the wildlife lake. I mean, the rangers pop in maybe once or twice a day and do a drive-through. I was there on a Sunday evening. It's about 100 degrees out, and I walked around the lake, and there's 10 groups of people fishing. And at the family and beginner bird walk, which I led, we had a hung cormorant out on the island. Fortunately, I couldn't figure out how to work the spotting scope, and the kids couldn't see. We're just going, oh, look how still that bird is. Yeah, it's like, so fortunately, the turkey vultures have done their job. I would like, if we can get together, and I think the rest of our conservation committee is on here virtually. Muriel, I'd like to have a meeting at Audubon and just discuss next steps we can take. One is I do want to reach out to the Department of Fish and Wildlife. They have a very robust program to do that, and then it would involve approaching CD6 and approaching Rec and Parks and say, let's do this. Let's try to fix this and recruit other groups to pull in volunteers. So it might be groups like Pacoima Beautiful, anything to, get people trained in, really dealing with other people. They'd have literature to hand out in English and Spanish, and to just do walkthroughs, and you certainly want people paired. Yeah. But there's other wildlife areas that are doing this all over the place, and I think we should. Yep. So totally. I will, we'll get a meeting, and maybe we can get our comments for Rosie in logical order and get that into it. So, but I don't want to take a lot of time on that tonight because it's getting rather late. So, if you're with other groups, think about it.
Would there be any advantage of it making it officially?
It's Ranger.
Advisory committee in terms of like liability, just in terms of city.
Yeah.
City endorsement as opposed to, Audubon Society. I'm sure you have insurance.
We do have insurance.
Something to consider.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the insurance would definitely be a concern, and what I will do is I will do the research and look at the Fish and Wildlife program. There was a program up at a reserve up in the East Bay area. I'll check how they handle it. But yeah, I mean, our insurance, if it's wildlife related, our insurance will cover it. But I think that we would need to talk to our insurer if we're doing, you know. I don't know if the degree to which you're doing programming affects, if they need to know. They never ask any questions.
So, is there an active group who's actually doing this that maybe they could present? And
Yeah, there is. It's a mountain bike unit.
Mhm.
And they're working out in the Santa Monica Mountains. And they have offered to present.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So,
Lots of questions.
yeah, but maybe I can, we can pick their brain.
Yeah.
But they're engaged by MRCA and the state parks. And they don't have to be on bikes, so, you know, obviously, you can't have people riding bikes around in the reserve.
Yeah, it sounded like when they spoke at the last meeting, or somebody brought it up at the last meeting, it sounded like they have a walking
They do.
option. Yeah.
They do,
But
they do,
it
and
sounds
they would be, they'd be glad to meet with us, so, you know, if anyone else is interested, because we've listened to this for 15 years now, I'm sick of it. I mean, what my first meeting ever with the steering committee, I think was at the Woodley Lakes Golf Course Bar with Deborah George doing a slideshow of dead birds. This is 15 years ago, I mean. Anyhow. So let me see what I can get lined up for us. Maybe we can do a little Zoom and have them spend a little bit of time, get questions together, like insurance. You definitely have to get some kind of uniforms. We definitely need to get flyers. We have to have them in both English and Spanish. And we would definitely need to be interfacing with rec and parks, including the rangers. So.
This is kind of on the same par as what the Chatsworth State Park is done.
It would be similar to that.
Similar, are you familiar with the Chatsworth State Park? Okay.
Yeah.
Because they've kind of officially organized themselves as rangers, so
Yeah.
to speak.
Yeah. Well, that's what MBU is doing too, so, yeah.
Right, but they have training.
Yeah,
Mandatory training.
And
Mandatory reporting of hours.
Right, yeah.
The state indemnify, so the state.
Yeah, there's a lot of,
There's workers' comp through the state.
a lot of officialness.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yes, there is officialness.
That's why I asked, we're just here unofficially. Audubon's probably got more official, I don't know if the city remembers that they created it, so.
If the city knows that we're here.
No, they know we're here, I was a bit tongue in cheek, but, I mean, reality, we've been around since 1990, right, as a committee. And, you know, we don't have the same things that a newer, you know, like you're showing an example of something that's been in place since 2011.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I like it though.
Let's do it.
But then the shirt and all of the training and everything, will that give us the ability to really enforce something?
You can't enforce, you can inform.
Inform.
No, it will not give us the ability to. However, if you've got really annoying people telling you to go away.
It's just the annoyance
Yeah.
factor and also, you
Just
know,
the
having the boots on the ground.
Anyhow,
Looking
the idea
official.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyhow, we will,
but then we don't,
get some people to share with us.
don't want to be too annoying.
Okay, so we'll move along from that now. Do we have,
Guns pulled on them.
we're at the end? The end, let's see, the old business, Haskell Creek has still got breeding birds in it. I think that probably rec, is still looking for storage for equipment.
Right, she's on the call.
Yeah, if Paula wants to confirm that.
Yeah, we definitely still are.
You need storage, right?
Yeah, and I haven't had a chance to make too much progress on that in terms of, continuing with tangible solutions. But if anybody has any ideas or anything that folks come up with, I'd be glad to hear at any time. And then I also just wanted to mention quickly, last meeting, I did talk about the strategic plan that we're building between REC is spearheading that with CMPS and FOLAR. And so I'd love to present on it either sometime in September or October, whenever you all will have me.
Not next month?
No,
You don't want August?
correct. September would be better.
Let me make a note for myself.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Member organization, we're missing the CNPS folks tonight. Friends of LA River.
Yeah, just three bullet points. August 9th, the 5th annual River Fest is going to be happening at the Lake State Historic Park. We're aiming for 2,500 attendees. We had 2,200 last year. We'll have over 60 exhibitors, live music, food trucks, the River Rover Museum, arts activities. And this is a free and family friendly event. That's going to be Sunday, August 9th from 2:30 to 5:30 p.m. The 36th annual LA River Cleanup will happen on October 10th. The current tentative plan for the Basin area south of the sports complex along the LA River. And then I have a bullet point here to share about the impact highlights from the July 25th Habitat Restoration Day. We had roughly 40 people came, removed about 33 leaf bags, which are about 30 gallons apiece, of mustard, thistle, false clover, and horehound. They watered 112 native plants, and the next event is August 22nd. There's also an invitation to bring a bucket or a bin the next time you're near the wildlife reserve to grab free mulch from the dirt lot south of Woodley Archery Range, as there are a lot of leftovers from the previous event.
Oh, very nice. Oh, good.
Anybody wants a bucket? I have plenty of buckets. I can bring you a bucket,
Alrighty.
give you a bucket.
Do we have any updates, Narit, from LA Audubon?
Not tonight, thank you.
NCSA,
No, not tonight.
no updates? I went to, you guys put on an excellent presentation on oak trees.
Oh, Charles's, yes.
I never knew there was that many oak trees. But it was, I actually got some ideas for our basin plantings from it.
Really? And it was recorded, so people.
It was, yeah, and it was,
So it was a meeting.
Charles is excellent.
It's meeting the trees committee of
Yeah.
sustainability land. It's actually our second meeting about native trees, but this one he decided to focus in on oaks.
Okay.
And Charles knows.
Is the first one available on recording?
Well, so it was asked during this one, and he said not, he would have to find out where it is, but they did record it.
I would love to, because I missed that one.
That one had Johnson.
No, Charles Miller, he's the kind of the driving force for the Westwood Greenway, and he's an absolute guru. The guy is amazing on native plants.
And he worked with a bunch of the California native plants people up and down the state to come up with a list of native trees that could be presented to streets or, LA, Bureau of Street Services.
Right.
Because at that point in time, they had 4 or 5 native trees on the list of all the street trees.
Yeah.
And even now, it's maybe 20 out of 100 or something like that. And so we're, and then he is on CTAC, Community Forest Advisory Committee. I'm an alternate on it. And we're, going to try to push to see if we can get maybe the Board of Public Works to help us get urban forestry to have a little bit more of an open mind with regard to native trees.
The first session was, they spent a great deal of time on another subject, so it was supposedly part 1 about oak trees. So, just be aware of that as they start off, it's not what you're looking for, but.
Okay.
And then this one was excellent, and the other thing I just want to add is that there are some oak trees that we're familiar with that may not be are gonna grow to be too large to be in places that we're looking, such as parkways, et cetera.
Yes.
But the species that he went through in terms of where they're adapted
Yeah.
towards, provide a alternative that, you don't have to cut the tree down after it's
Right.
so that's good. And I've already shared that with somebody who has 100 acres up in the Antelope Valley area who wants to put in a forest, so.
Yeah. So good.
On your road.
Okay.
Yes.
We've got Shelley from RCD.
So continuing on this conversation, you know that oaks are great for wildfire mitigation, habitat restoration. So it would be really amazing if we could come up with a joint proposal. There's Cal Fire's been having several rounds, and then the MRCA also has funding that we'll be applying for. It's a capacity building grant, so we had a 2-year grant. We're going to be up for another one, and so it's all about our home ignition zone evaluations. We're doing HOAs and firewise communities as sort of landscape wide. Start with the exterior, and that's why I wanted to talk to Chrysalis, because if you do any kind of vegetative removal, bringing crews in from an organization like that would be preferable to a contractor. However, what I wanted to bring up tonight is that we have several job openings. One of them is a senior conservation biologist. It would be an assistant program manager for the Topanga Lagoon Restoration Project. It will never be Dan, but it's Director of Natural Resources. This time with more of an aquatic emphasis. Need to have permits for sensitive species, steelhead trout, tidewater goby, southern pond turtles, etc. 2 events. One this Saturday is another oak planting and watering at Trippet Ranch. And then in August, on the 7th and 8th, we have a community wildfire training opportunity. So on the evening of the 7th, which is a Friday, it's 5 to 7:30. That is strictly Zoom. On the morning of the 8th, we'll actually be at Debs Park Audubon Center, but we do have a Zoom option. And I mention it because our speaker is really dynamic and informative, and it's just really great education. There's a final in-person opportunity to learn how to do home ignition zone evaluations. So we do that at the end. And this time we're partnering not only with Debs Park, with Community Nature Connection, and they're going to be doing a fire ecology walk. So I can share those flyers if you want to pass them along. But there's no limit to Zoom, and we're having simultaneous Spanish translation. So would love to offer those services.
And I will definitely try to do it and disseminate it.
Yeah, it's really, those are really, and we're working on other educational opportunities, maybe some webinar type of things, but just to really raise awareness on things that you can do.
Okay. Fabulous. We're up to San Fernando Valley Audubon. It's summer and things are kind of quiet, and it's been hot. I think I nearly killed 40 people taking them on our birds and beer walk. The Hanson Dam was an inferno. Muriel, can you think of anything coming up? It's pretty quiet in the summer.
The only thing I would mention is that our beginner bird walks are moving to second Sundays because our leader will now be working on Saturdays. So starting with August, it'll be on the second Saturday at 8 a.m. And then in September through May, I believe it is, they will be second Sundays at 9 a.m. Hopefully it'll be cooler. Anyway, the sun will be up later.
Yeah. Well, very good. Thank you. Do we have any update from Sierra Club? Angeles?
One quick or two quick updates. August 8th, following your event on August 8th, we're the Los Angeles chapter is having a awards ceremony where we're going to be honoring 6 public officials, including Lindsay Horvath, LA County Supervisor, Ben Allen, our California State Senator, and Katie Sbwasc, LA City Council person, and 3 other people, Corey Brown, and then Pilar Sbwasc, and Kathleen Tresidor, Irvine council member. That's on August 8th at the Angeles chapter office in downtown LA on 7th Street. And it's from 2 until 5. And I can send you the flyer. I've got it via text, so I could text it to you. Okay. The next meeting for this body will be on August 25th, which will be the second Tuesday, which will be the 4th Tuesday in August. And on that day, I am scheduled to have surgery on my shoulder of a torn rotator cuff, believe it or not. And I will, if I'm coherent, I will attend to the
Okay.
If I'm coherent, I will not be present. If I am coherent on Zoom, I might not be coherent enough to know what I'm doing. I hope I'm not naked, but I will, if I'm not there, I will not be there. But I will certainly contact my alternate to be present.
Thank you.
So if I'm not there, you'll know I will be there in spirit.
Last but not least.
San Fernando Valley Sierra Club, pretty quiet right now. We're looking at elections, so we got stuff to do.
Summer is quiet.
Yeah.
That said, I think, do we have any committee members' comments not on the agenda? Other than, I'm tired, let's go on.
You got dogs.
Okay,
Yeah, mine.
the meeting is adjourned at 8:34.
Okay.
I have a supraspinatus, big tear, and an infraspinatus, the partial thing. I was walking.
I'm amazed that you just like walk in
We're not walking out my gate. We were bicyclists.
No, I am.
30.
So.
Is it our
sidewalk? Doing whatever.
Okay, just, yeah, send me the link.
And my
It may be our
shoulder
drive.
took him out and I blinded him on the sidewalk.
Yeah, that's easy.
Oh, he ran.
You know, what?
So I did my.
Don't worry about that. I said go through it afterwards and fix it.
I see.
So everyone that I took with.
Die.
Sure.
Okay, great. Right, then, yeah, of course, with the Zoom, I can always just fill out a list of everyone that was logged into
So I
it.
knocked him off, he was flat on his back. I was